to you by
youth, elderly, and persons with disabilities. It's time to choose our leaders. Let's show up and participate in the special interest group elections. Starting June through August this year. Your vote, your voice. My vote, my voice. This message is brought to you by the Uganda Electoral Commission.
Welcome once again. This is News Tonight at 10. My name is Patricia Lokoma Mpango. First though, let's look at the top stories.
Brought to you by
Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
Headlines tonight: President Museveni launches second phase of 4-acre model in Bunyoro. President Museveni injects 11.1 billion shillings into community saccos. And the Church of Uganda holds inaugural diocesan clergy and lay readers conference. Lastly, NOB completes Chagulanyi nomination signatures, voting aspirants in Mobenda, Bugisu and Bukeli.
Brought to you by
Uniquely Ours. Explore Uganda.
And into the presidential press unit, President Yoweri Museveni has reiterated his commitment to wealth creation as the key strategy to uplift Uganda's standards of living. He made this commitment while presiding over the launch of the second phase of the 4-acre model campaign for Bunyoro sub-region at an event held in Kakumiro district.
The primary school ground in Kakumiro district has been filled to capacity on Saturday, 20th September 2025, as Bunyoro community received the President of Uganda. Museveni has returned to Kakumiro district to launch Bunyoro sub-region 4-acre model second phase campaign.
When the President was here, many people watched and many people attended. And I know that many took the message and they are doing it, especially those who have 4 acres.
To accompany the President were members of cabinet led by Prime Minister Robin Anabanja.
Farming is the backbone. So for you to be able to farm, you must get the knowledge, and that is education. That's where education comes handy. Education is relevant to wealth creation.
After nearly 8 hours of waiting, Museveni arrived at Naloyo grounds in the evening amidst cheers. Addressing the public rally, Museveni reiterated the need to enhance and embrace wealth creation.
So, hati tulesile hano yuko kuongera omulimo ogukozirwe omuli Kibale, Kagadi, Kakumiro, okugongera mu district za Bunyoro zindi, Kikube, Bulisa, Hoima, Masindi, Siandongo. Ndio tulesile hano izoba lya hati. Tugumanye mukoro kubakoza kora bete niyo sobe tulesile hano. Hati esente za PDM muzulwaneho bareke kwishisha.
To the wealth creators like Minister Fred Byamukama, Museveni is impressed with their efforts and thus calling on others to benchmark from them.
Mwaka gona natahya esente zikira mukahumbi kamu warikwihaho izokozesa asigaza nka miliyoni 8 ugwa lyawo.
According to Munyoro Kingdom officials, the president's intervention is timely and crucial.
As a kingdom, we welcome this arrangement, and really it rhymes with our own direction in the kingdom of ensuring that people increase their income. And once you increase your income, then you can clearly pay for school fees for children in school.
Improvement of household incomes, because this will improve on the incomes of our people and therefore also develop our kingdom, but also develop the whole country. So,
as part of the day, government handed over land titles to members of the community, a move which intends to sort land-related matters.
Government esobodde okuba n'ebitundu bya Uganda ebyenjawulo omuli Buganda, Ankole, Tolo ne Bugisu. Those who were landless are now being given land. So the issue of land is no longer a big challenge.
Amidst the heavy rains, no one seemed to be moving, a sign of total adherence and need to listen to the presidents. Robert Nyango, UBC News.
President Yoweri Museveni has urged farmers in the Bunyoro districts to embrace government programs aimed at combating poverty. President Museveni commended some farmers who have implemented the presidential 4-acre model and turned them into demonstration farms in their communities.
Today, President Yoweri Museveni spent part of the day in Kibale and Kakumiro in Bunyoro sub-region to launch the second phase of the 4-acre model program. One of the model farmers the President visits today is Dr. Richard Rubega of Busesa village in Kibale district. Dr. Rubega, a medical professional, says when he completed his education, he settled for farming, from where he drew capital to establish a number of businesses.
When I graduated, I did not go in to look for jobs, these government jobs. My vision was one, to be a self-employed professional. But I would not jump into medical professional business because I didn't have capital. But the capital I had was agriculture.
About 5 years ago, when President Yoweri Museveni started a 4-acre model campaign, Rubega quickly embraced it.
Now, in 2021, that's when the president started now bringing up this business of 4-acre model. I had a zigzag kind of business. But when the president started now aligning us into a 4-acre model system, I became very critical to learn his advice.
Currently, Dr. Rubega has initiated a number of projects from his humble beginning.
I have piggery projects, I have poultry projects, I have dairy cattle, I have rabbitry, I have pasture gardens, I have fish ponds around 4, I have banana plantation, house of avocado, and coffee. Now, after organizing those ones, like here, I'm seated at 1.5 acres, where I have poultry, dairy cattle, piggery, rabbitry, and pasture garden. The other 2.5 acres, they are away from here, where I have fish ponds, 4 fish ponds, where I have the banana plantation, where I have the hash of avocado, and the goats. Now, in total, I have 3,280 layers. I have a total of 48 pigs. I have a total of 6,000 fingerlings stocked. I have 1 acre of banana and ½ acre of hash of avocado. So those projects, when I started them into a system of 4-acre model, I saw there was a lot of yield.
Dr. Rubega does not regret because the enterprises he established have made him a millionaire.
My net annual profit from these agricultural products is averagely 200 million annually. When I add all the net profits from these other projects I've talked about, that is goats, piggery, fish, rabbitry.
In spite of the fact that Rubega has leaped from farming, he did not forget about his medical profession. Because all the profits I've been getting, I have managed to establish a community health facility. That is Busesa Medical Center 3. And this facility is not only helping people from here alone, is also helping in the neighboring districts. Rubega is not alone in Ibunyoro. The president also visited the family of Robert Barikagira of Kakindo sub-county in Kakumiro district.
Twina enterprises itan. Twina omwani, twina ente, twina enkoko, twina we nanasi, kandi twina we ebitoke. Ebintu ebyo omwaka ogwahoire tukabifunamu tuti. Mukama wange tukasobola kufuna esente ezitali ansi wa miliyoni 14 n'emitwalo 8 n'ebiri tuzifunzira omwanyi abwokuba emwanyi tukaba netutunda ensahemu neremera kiro 12.
The president reiterated his call to all Ugandans to embrace government programs geared towards fighting poverty.
Okuwasomesa okubiga obunaku mu maka ganyu. Ate muwulirize ebindabaza za radio, mukozesa esente za PDM tukubasindikira mu kyalo, bareke kwiba sente zanyu, kubalaziba mu banyegerere, muzikozese zibayambe okuruka mu bunaku. Tuli mu kalitango y'okubiga obunaku mu maka ganyu, mukozesa sente za PDM ezitukusindika hamuruka.
Sawa 19 nizo twatunzire enanasi tukatunda emitwalo 66 kandi ente amata matayito tukukama muri taina zonka.
Now, President Museveni has injected a total of 11.1 billion shillings into saccos of mechanics in the 5 divisions of Kampala City, masters of ceremonies across 18 zonal regions of the country, and industrial skilling hub beneficiaries in 176 administrative units, including districts, cities, and municipalities.
President Yoweri Museveni explained that the funds are intended to benefit ordinary Ugandans and should be accessed at very affordable interest rates. This was at an event where he handed over funds to sacco representatives during a meeting at State Lodge, Nakasero.
That this money is for the Wanaku, so therefore I don't want to use it to make money. The loans you give must be at 6% per year, okay? And this should be put in a legal document. Anybody who doesn't do it, it goes to jail.
The skilling hubs received 8.8 billion shillings, with each sacco entitled to 50 million shillings. Mechanics saccos received 500 million, with each taking 100 million shillings, while MC's saccos received 1.8 billion shillings, with each of the 18 groups getting 100 million shillings.
But it's not up. So the inflation, the interest rate must be 6% per year. Nkwade akakade kamu, rumanya rumaka okomyawo akakade n'emitwalo 6. Umwaka gwonna atete mu mbanja umwaka gusooke gugwe. The ones of agriculture, PDM, tubawe emyaka 2 kubanga twagala akungule. That's why for PDM we give them 24 months.
He further assured beneficiaries that if they utilize the funds well, government will inject additional money into their SACCOs.
Eno ntandikwa kwe kubaloza bwe munakola obulungi tugenda kwongera mu sente. Kati eza PDM we've been insisting on 1 million, anokufuna $1 million.
State House Comptroller Jen Bareche revealed that this project is part of the President's broader initiative to economically empower ordinary citizens, including market vendors, ghetto youth, MCs and mechanics.
Masters of Ceremonies, SACCOs, for all the country, led by Mr. Chirunda. Those ones are also funded. So we've given them, there are 18 from 18 regions of the country, and we've given each SACCO 100 million, Your Excellency.
Now, as the country gears up for the 2026 general elections, the level of trust and the political will to ensure a peaceful process remains a lingering concern. A section of stakeholders have chosen a dialogue through iPod, while others continue to cast doubt on unity, attributing it to the move of political corruption.
May we all rise. On Thursday, Democratic Party President Norbert Mao was handed the flag to steer the leadership of the Inter-Party Organization for Dialogue, IPOD, from the National Resistance Movement. To the National Chairman of NRM.
As this was ongoing, the National Unity Platform Party addressed the public, expressing distrust in Mao's leadership.
Norbert Mao, you were bought in a broad daylight. Let me even tell you, Norbert Mao, you are a shame to your generation. They believed in you so much. They hoped so much in you, including some of us.
But Mao defended DP's working relationship with the NRM, describing it as an act of patriotism.
I told you that while I had joined the government you formed and which you lead, I had entered, but I had left the door open. I had not locked it behind me. I told you that there are many patriots in all political organizations, and as the head of the family we call Uganda, it is your duty to look for them. There is no need for us to think that there are no good people in all the organizations that exist in Uganda. They are all patriots.
The controversy surrounds the iPod platform, which is mandated to improve Uganda's political history, long characterized by cycles of conflict, contested transitions, and post-election tensions.
Even to end the apartheid in South Africa, there are discussions beyond the formal discussions in Kenya, in Ghana, and elsewhere. But you don't go and announce that these other formal platforms are useless, and therefore the informal ones they have replaced them, and they are the only of value. So what Mao said is a good thing if there are informal discussions discussing the transition from Museveni to another government, but you cannot say that the formal processes are useless, then people won't respect them.
However, the fourth iPod summit in Kololo discussed measures to strengthen, among others, conflict prevention.
If there is anybody who does not want to talk to President Museveni as the leader of Uganda, but also about issues of Uganda, then that person must be evil.
Politics must be like medicine. A political leader should be like a doctor. A doctor looking at patients. And this doctor will only help those patients if he makes a correct diagnosis.
So, how better is the idea of political dialogue, especially through iPod?
So it has degenerated. The idea of political parties talking to each other, if it's a genuine discussion, is a very good idea. But if the discussion centers about money, then you have lost the whole value that you should extract from a meeting of those who are in the ruling party and those who are in the opposition. So a dialogue in itself is a good idea, but it cannot be a negotiation for money.
With just months to the general elections, no President Robert Kyagulanyi speculated a repeat of history, casting doubt on IPOD's objectives.
Because the kind of election that we are going into, ladies and gentlemen, is no usual election. It is war. We are going into something that we don't desire, but we have to go there because it is our only fighting chance. One writer said that even if the chance is only 1% success, it is worth fighting.
But President Yoweri Museveni, the NRM presidential flag bearer in the 2026 general elections, cautioned against violence, adding his voice to the call for dialogue to promote political tolerance and peaceful coexistence.
If you have a different understanding, at least don't be violent. Don't use violence. Don't use subversion. Like the members here were saying, yes, they have got their different points of view, but let them express them peacefully, and then we see whether we agree or disagree.
Despite all efforts to harvest peace, drawing a line between money and dialogue has remained a nightmare to many.
So why are they interested in the money and they don't want to talk? If they want to remain alone, they can go and die alone.
There is absolutely no way we are going to be lined up like school children to receive Museveni in call like I saw my other colleagues. If there is a discussion that keeps our integrity and respect, we can get involved. But you wait for Museveni and then he's inspecting you like he's inspecting a school choir. And the PFF is part of that, please. We cannot be dehumanized.
Daniel Mugoya, UBC News.
Now, Kassanda, public servants, particularly electoral coordinators, have been cautioned against intimidating candidates, including independents and contesting for leadership positions in their constitutional right. The remarks were made by Human Rights Commissioner Simeo Muwanga during a meeting where the NRM members and supporters in Kassanda South constituency resolved their back their colleague Eria Mobiru in an independent race after rejecting the victory of Abdul Bisaso.
The NRM candidates who vied for Kassanda South constituency, who included Simeo Muwanga Nsubuga, Eria Mubiru, Michael Muhumus and Godfrey Mugeraka Tumba, who were all defeated by Abdul Bisaso, convened with their supporters Chakatebe village in Uganda Town Council.
Webaze President Museveni kubanga yali fountain nnyo mu kukola constitution ya Uganda. N'ateekamu ebibiina, n'ateekamu nti omuntu bw'anaaba tamatidde ajja independent. Kali singako tekali mu constitution singa Eria musibe.
The big gathering was mainly to hear from Eria Mubiru, who announced he would contest as an independent candidate for the Kassanda Southeast after disputing Abdul Bisaso's victory. The party flagger contenders, led by former Kassanda South MP and current Human Rights Commissioner Simeo Muwanga Nsubuga, expressed surprise at Abdul Bisaso's victory.
Tosobola kumpangula ku kyalo Myanzi muluka Myanzi kombola Myanzi. Bisaso yafuna obululu 1019. Ekyo kiri kuli kodinga lukunda akirangirira. Abantu b'omu Kiganda Sonka Abdulatif mbagamba tetugenda kukkiriza mwami Bisaso Abdul tuwangula kaki. Kiresezze enteekateeka eno okubeera bweti mwakimanya ababyogeddeko nnyo wano. Nze Katumba Mugerwa saagalira ddala muntu mubbi wa bululu. Nebwemba ngenda ku mbaga ne bangamba ow'obululu tumugoba dda wano embaga ngivaako ne ngoba omubbi w'obululu.
They decried what they described as fraud within the party primaries.
It is very clear that the NRM primaries in Kassanda South, they were stolen. Votes were stolen. The truth of the matter, Elia Mubiru won the elections. I was a competitor. I was actively involved. I was number 3. Get my point. Votes were stolen using the other forms. The other DC, Feibe Namulindwa, was a key factor in stealing these votes. He's the one who smuggled the DDR forms and gave them to Lukundo.
Eriam Biru, however, maintained that he remains an NRM member and a strong supporter of President Museveni, despite choosing to run as an independent.
The party, we make the party. We are NRM. I am an NRM cadre. But I am dissatisfied with what happened. The party structures and leadership knows what happened, and they know that I'm dissatisfied. So the final court is the people and their vote. So I'm going into that court now, the court of the people, to determine whether I won or I did not win.
Mobiru pledged to work for the people of Kassanda South.
Service delivered, good service delivered, clean water, roads, electricity, schools. We have no schools. We have only one seed school in the whole constituency. Those are some of the major concerns. Yeah.
Commissioner Simeon Sobuga cautioned public servants against intimidating politicians, especially those who choose to run as independents, stressing that it is their constitutional right.
I'll move with him. I'll show him the projects which I didn't complete. For example, I told you, I might bring that one to the secondary school. We have only one, so he's going to bring him more.
As the campaign period approaches, all other NRM candidates in Kassanda South have declared their support for Elia Mubiru in his challenge against Abdul Bisaso, who was recently declared the flag bearer.
And over to Mukono, the National Resistance Movement supporters in Mukono South constituency have launched a campaign task force ahead of the 2026 general elections. The task force, chaired by George Sirada, aims to reclaim NRM support in Mukono South and secure an overwhelming win. All NRM flag bearers in Mukono have endorsed the task force and pledged to support its mobilization agenda.
We started this task force with the intention of mobilizing the people of Mukono South and bring back the people of NRM such that NRM win with a big range as compared to the last term. Last term, NRM performed poorly to the extent that NRM performed to the extent of 20%, which we are condemning it. Otherwise, we need NRM this time to win at 90% in Mukono South constituency.
I want to express my gratitude to Mukono South Task Force for the great work they have embarked on. The history of Mukono is that Mukono South constituency is the cradle of the NRM support in that district. But because of various issues pertaining in the community, the support had gone down for quite some time, and the climax was during the last elections when we performed very poorly in the constituency. We are here to work together with the task force to ensure that NRM wins Mukono South and also the entire district of Mukono.
I'm so privileged today to attend a function organized by NRM Task Force Mukono South. Indeed, for sure, this is the right time, and as Mukono, as a team of Mukono South, we are so humbled because we've been organized by a team to come together to mobilize for our flag bearers. I'm happy for what I've seen here because the members have come together. We've mobilized from different groups.
The second runners-up for the NRM National Youth Member of Parliament, Kanyesije Masi, on Thursday, In Thursday's youth election was disputed. The results citing voter bribery, intimidation, and undue influence from the top party officials that she says led to her defeat. Kanyesije highlighted instances of voter bribery and intimidation in West Nile, Acholi, Lango, and Buganda regions.
Of course, as I said, there was unfairness in this election process entirely because the party officials involved in it, and especially in West Nile, they were telling the young people that we shall not give you the facilitation. It was 700,000 that they were giving. We shall not give you this money if you do not vote for Diana.
Over the sub-regions, all MPs, all ministers, they were on the ground. They were against massacre yesterday, but we stood firm, and we voted for her. Like in my district, Omoro, we have 20 voters.
Intimidated. Some of the people who are calling me, I didn't know them. But I said, if it means slaughtering, I will die with honorable mercy. And I know the reasons. She has the qualities, she has the competence, the rapport she kept with us when we started National Youth Council leadership, when we voted as national representative for legal affairs. But the result has shocked us. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Central. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Tensions are escalating in Uganda's education sector as the Uganda Liberal Teachers Union, a parallel organization to the Uganda National Teachers Union, has firmly rejected UNATU's call for the nationwide strike. In a statement made at the annual general meeting today, President General Mutesa Sira Evans criticized UNATU's actions as opportunistic and implored teachers to consider the future of their students instead of participating in actions that could compromise their education.
Statement made at their annual general meeting, President General Uganda Liberal Teachers Union Mutesa Sira Evans Kaganizo criticized UNATU's actions and urged teachers to prioritize the students' education during, especially now that the learners are soon sitting for their final examinations.
Our position is very, very clear as Uganda Liberal Teachers Union that we are calling upon our teachers to go and work while the union does the work of negotiation, and that is why unions are there. But you don't say sacrifice the parents, they have already paid their school fees, sacrifice the children who are supposed to be at school learning, sacrifice the resources.
Mutesa Sira emphasized that striking at this time would negatively impact learners and the future of education in Uganda. While UNATU has taken a strong stance against the government for its failure to honor salary enhancements for teachers, the Uganda Liberal Teachers Union is advocating for dialogue over disruption.
Now, what is the role of a union, a trade union, like a professional trade union, like Uganda Liberal Teachers Union, is to engage with the government. For us, we have been doing it, and we have not had any challenges. And our members are continuously benefiting.
Kaganizo called on teachers to explore alternative income opportunities, highlighting a 20 billion shilling presidential grant aimed at supporting educators through their sacco of incomes.
How helpful will it be in third term where primary 7 are sitting for the national examination and the rest of other classes, they are now going to the next aspect of class?
To me, I would suggest that the leaders of the UNATU should go and discuss with the government other than making a war between, actually making a war with the government.
I'm drumming to teachers who are on industrial action. Let us focus on setting side income projects not depending on salaries alone.
The divide between UNATU and the Uganda Liberal Teachers Union appears to be widening, with accusations of sabotage and mismanagement of funds given by the president to the teachers' sacco. Mutesa Sila says there are many people fighting to steal the fund and are derailing the operations of the sacco.
This invisible hand also comes from competition. Of course, this UNATU has been fighting URITU. It is also on record. Because when they saw we got these funds and we are using them very well, the UNATU people started sponsoring some mafia to come and disorganize our union and our sacco. It is on record and we are following it up. I think that is one of the...
Sudat Kaye.
A Minister for Youth and Children Affairs, Balam Barwakahara, visited Nebi to review the performance of the YLP, UWEP, PDM and Emyoga programs. He commended the district's strong reporting and visiting several thriving groups, encouraging continuous focus on impactful delivery. He was accompanied by the State Minister for Minerals, Fiona Nyamtoro.
State Minister Balam Barugahara received a warm welcome in Nebi district. Accompanied by State Minister Fiona Nyamutoro, he visited Youth Livelihood Program, Uganda Women Entrepreneurship Program, Parish Development Model, and Emyoga initiatives.
Next thing is to support him to ensure that the numbers that we have as Ugandans, those numbers are empowered and those numbers get money. In his address yesterday in Masindi during the International Youth Day, he emphasized the role of local leaders and the role of voters to ask for accountability of the money sent to their local parishes, like PDM fund, to assess that fund and ensure that that money is used well.
He commended the district's strong reporting and thriving youth livelihood program and Uganda Women Entrepreneurship Program groups. Balam encouraged continued focus on impactful delivery before heading to the Youth Baraza.
As leaders is to follow up on the funds that have been sent, and the role of the local people, the voters, is also to demand for accountability from their parish chief, the Muluka chief and the Gombola chief, to demand that the money sent, has it been utilized well? That's now the role. That is the new role the president has declared. So he has declared a war on corruption. He wants us to give out that message of telling his people to practice commercial agriculture. Whether you're using a small piece of land, they should do commercial agriculture and make money.
Nyamtoro urged district leaders to work together to ensure continuity of the programs.
I think it is very clear that the only thing we need to improve better is adding on our consistency in monitoring and ensuring that we join our hands together for continuous sensitization. To encourage us all that let us not give up.
The visit highlights the government's ongoing support for youth empowerment initiatives.
Exercise can't be sustained. Eating can't be stopped. It's even harder to lose weight. Come and give it a try. Genshikang L-carnitine chromium capsules. Plant extract, scientific ratio. Take 3 capsules each time. The active ingredient accelerates fat burning, eat twice a day. Don't take a detour. Weight loss starts now. Genshikang L-carnitine with chromium capsules helps you stay in shape. Please follow medical advice when taking this product. For more information, visit our website www.hgo.com or call 0800 335555.
ebiseera by'okuzaayo abaana mu masomero tebiteekwa kukaluubiriza n'akatono. Eno kusimba nnyiriri mpanvu kano kalipagano ka bidduka. Simanyi kuzunga na banka siripsi? Kati osobola okusasula school fees z'omwana wo ate n'okola n'ebirala ntoko ku ssimu ye ey'omu ngalo. Ekikola kyangu nnyo. Nyiga bunyezi *165*8 ogoberera ebikulagiriddwa oba okozese app ya MTN Momo. Ate kati okola ki olwaleero? MTN Mobile Money Uganda Limited erungamizibwa banka enkulu eya Uganda.
At UNOC, we believe in safety.
Every waking day is a reminder just how beautiful this, our land, truly is. The kind of beauty that you can only find here, in the lush green all around us and the wondrous sights within. It's in the distinct aroma of our cooking to the taste of food that takes you on a journey. In the sound of homecoming and the sound of Mother Earth. In the magnificence we find on our travels and the exciting moments we experience. Ours is the kind of beauty that comes in all things big and small. All we have to do is awaken our senses and truly enjoy what's uniquely ours. Explore Uganda, the pearl of Africa.
In our next segment, and over to West Nile, the Ministry of Health and Partnership with Rotary and the Association of Surgeons of Uganda has flagged off over 500 medical professionals to the West Nile region, as we hear more in this report.
Led by the Permanent Secretary, Dr. Diana Twine, this initiative marks the beginning of a week-long surgical camp expected to serve over 2,000 patients across West Nile.
Today we are privileged to flag off the surgeons, and the nurses, the radiologists, anesthesiologists, and all other specialties that support the surgical operations. Our teams are going to West Nile. They are going to be operating for 1 week. They are going to be in all districts of West Nile. This is an activity that we undertake through the Association of Surgeons.
This surgical outreach will cover both minor and major operations ranging from cataracts, cleft lips, hernia repairs to orthopedic and dental procedures, many of which have left patients in pain for years.
Surgery remains still one of the biggest burdens. The unmet need for surgery remains high, and we're looking at that the surgical camp, and we are happy to, as a ministry, to partner with the surgeons and Rotary to offer this service and bring smiles to many who probably have waited for a long time.
Archbishop Emeritus Luke Orombi praised the surgeons as angels in white coats and urged them to touch not just the bodies but the spirits of the people they serve.
A surgeon, a physician, is an agent of healing. The healer is God, the creator of the body. Your work is so important as far as healing is concerned. I want to pray that you will acknowledge that your calling is a very high calling. Because when the body suffers, the soul is is struggling, the spirit is also struggling.
The ministry has hinted that these camps could become part of Uganda's annual health calendar as Parliament now moves to push for permanent funding.
Thank you very much. We appreciate. I would like to thank all the partners, the banks, and also Parliament of Uganda for we may not have come through at the level expected, but it's been a tough season. I thought, Madam PS and everybody, that having a camp in West Nile in election year would be smooth sailing, but there are so many competing priorities.
Ugandans have been urged to exercise caution when dealing with individuals or companies promising opportunities abroad. This advice was given by Joseph Rutaraka, founder and CEO of Harvey World Travel, Uganda.
It has been noted that many Ugandans have fallen victim to fraudsters while seeking opportunities abroad. Joseph Rutaraka, CEO of Harvey World Travel Uganda, urged Ugandans to remain vigilant and avoid being conned.
But my simple advice to you, Ugandans, before you think of traveling, first get information, first be educated, first consult.
He explained the main reasons why Ugandans continue to fall prey to such scams.
We need someone to open up our eyes about traveling.
Rutaraka also called on government and other stakeholders to work together to ensure Ugandans access genuine opportunities abroad without losing money.
That we need to get monitoring bodies. We need to get a consortium of these tours and travel companies that regulates their operations.
He further appealed to journalists not to hastily promote foreign labor recruitment companies on air without verifying their operations.
And also I want to blame the media stream, that why would you put up the information that is really fake, that you've not verified?
P.C. Namaweje, the company's quality and legal manager, highlighted Harvey World Travel's Ugandan's mission to serve Ugandans.
Before you know what you're going to do, before you know where you're going, before you know what your destination is, what are the requirements you need? What do you need? How much do you need? You know, people just go into other companies and someone tells you you can travel within 1 month, you can travel the next week. That is wrong.
She also outlined the proper procedure that anyone seeking scholarships abroad should follow in order to avoid scams.
People to spend millions, like someone spends 200 millions, 10 millions, 30 millions without, but then what they are getting is false, or they're actually stealing the money from them.
Now, the Shincheonji Church of Jesus has unveiled a public examination aimed at strengthening authentic Christian leadership in Uganda. Sudat Kaye has more on this.
The test, based on 100 questions from the Book of Revelation, is designed to measure pastors' understanding of the new covenant and protect believers from misleading teachings.
Test is something which is so fearful, and some people, you know, becoming a pastor and also having a deep knowledge about this new covenant, it is also different. That's why the purpose. We invited over 300 pastors to come and join, but so far those few are the ones who managed to come. Maybe in any way or another, some were caught up.
More than 100 pastors and 2 bishops sat for the first test in Kampala.
There are some people who may speak negatively about this. For example, maybe these people are not true people, they are cult, they are what. That's why, according to the guidance of the chairman of Chinchanji Church of Jesus, guided people to come and verify, because it is only through the Bible to see who is orthodox and who is heresy.
More than 100 pastors and 2 bishops sat for the first test in Kampala, though over 300 had been invited.
It helps me to help other members or in the church members to tell them that we are soon leaving the world. We are soon forget everything. But now in this moment we need to learn how the coming of Christ, how can we behave before other community.
Results are due on Monday. Those who fall short will be guided into Bible schools for deeper study.
We know where our limit is, but we need to study more. So according to the exam, they have been asking some of the question, how is the fulfillment of the revelation, how did it happen, how do you know? They wanted to go deep, how we can understand as the servant of God, so that we can give the correct word to the world.
Pastors who took the test noted that it only sharpened their knowledge of scripture but also challenged them to examine their personal faith journey. Many said the exercise will help restore credibility in church leadership and build trust with congregations. Organizers plan to roll out the exercise nationwide as part of a broader effort to safeguard Ugandans from false teaching while empowering leaders committed to authentic biblical truth. Sudat Kaye, UBC News.
Girl child in Uganda faces barriers rooted in stereotypes and biases limiting education and workplace opportunities. The Uganda Demographic and Health Survey 2022 shows that 23.5% of women aged 15 to 19 start giving birth by 16 years and often lacking control over their decisions.
Gender stereotypes and harmful cultural norms continue to impact girls' retention and performance in schools. Social stigma and lack of parental and institutional support limit girls' aspirations and economic independence.
I happen to be the former Minister for Health of Mukono University, but getting that post was some sort of, I don't know. Before I was given the post, obviously the president by then, His Excellency Kassanda Noah, he had to make some research. Some people were like, don't give that post to a lady because ladies are so fragile.
Mentorship and positive roles in schools and workplaces are critical to challenging biases and affirming girls' capabilities.
That attention to detail is very, very important. You need to, if you're sending out a letter, you need to read through as many times as you can. You can only be a person who has attention to detail when you're a perfectionist.
Parents, teachers, and mentors must actively protect girls' dignity and encourage their participation in leadership, entrepreneurship, and education.
I'll tell you, at our university here, in the very many governments that have passed, even most of the administrators have been used to the trend that they have a female vice president and a male finance minister. I say this time around, no, I need to empower a woman.
At this Girls Empowerment Conference themed Dealing with Stereotypes and Biases for Equity and Progress, attendees stressed the need for integrated programs that combine community awareness, improved school infrastructure, and targeted support services.
Our conversation centered on how to build self-confidence, how to enhance your standards, build a strong value systems, managing strategic networks, and most importantly, how to have integrity as a student and how to position yourself for the next level.
As to why I organized this conference, being the MP, very many girls came out to me to help them, counsel them, and I couldn't do it as an individual in my capacity, as per my age, being in the same circle like them, so I could not do all that. So it triggered my mind to say that how can I gather a big group and make sure that everybody benefits from this.
Uganda's future and socio-economic development depends on closing these gaps and empowering girls to fulfill their potential across all sectors of society. Wadulo Arnold Mark for UBC News in Nkumba.
The Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development is rolling out a new program under the GROW project to empower women entrepreneurs with vocational skills by placing them in thriving enterprises. Let's see more in this report.
The Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development plans to take the program nationwide over the coming weeks. So far, 1,000 women have been shortlisted and will be posted across various enterprises to promote equity and ensure women from all regions benefit from the GROW project.
Now, under the work-based learning, we have this program of work placement, and under the program, women who are in business, we get them and place them in enterprises which are better off than what they are doing, and they learn from there.
A skills development specialist at the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, Enoka Mtambi, says the workplace planning program under the GROW project places women in enterprises that perform better than their current businesses. The program targets women entrepreneurs seeking vocational skills, especially in male-dominated fields like welding.
Our focus is on those women entrepreneurs who would want vocational skills. Vocational skills in areas such as tailoring, such as welding, and particularly we focus on what we call the male-dominated enterprises.
Mutambi listed key qualities and requirements for participation, emphasizing commitment and willingness to learn new skills. The program aims to empower women to improve their livelihoods by gaining hands-on experience in competitive enterprises.
So what we do is that we get these women and also negotiate with what we call host enterprises and place them in these host enterprises, where they learn alongside the experienced entrepreneurs and workers. The main activity actually is about mentoring, mentorship and coaching. The experienced entrepreneurs do coach them to make them better and do better business than they are doing today.
Big thing about the MTN Super. Wali yakapia musite wali yakapia. Wali yakapia. MTN kabo de super mustairompia. Then you kabo de smartphone nebi yakabibiona. Wali yakapia. MTN kabo de super mustairompia. Then you kabo de smartphone nebi yakabibiona.
Get the new Kabode Super smartphone and enjoy 16 GB free. Start with a deposit of only 45,000 Uganda shillings and pay the rest in daily installments of less than 1K. You can also make weekly and monthly installments. Together, our vibes are unstoppable. Terms and conditions apply. MTN. MTN is regulated by Uganda Communications Commission.
Welcome back. It's time for us to look at what's happening in the world of business. Now, in Eco Concrete, lapidary facilities are specialized workshops where rough gemstones are cut, polished, and transformed into fine jewelry. Let's hear more in this report.
From prospecting licenses to polished stones, Eco Concrete Limited is moving Uganda up the value chain. The company's new lapidary facilities cut, polish, and transform local gems into jewelry of international quality, reducing reliance on imports.
Dynamic, we want to increase knowledge in the market. We also want to increase knowledge to the bankers to know that this is actually an asset. If I have my diamonds and the diamond is worth $10,000 and I come to the bank looking for $1,000 and you know there's a market even here at Eco Concrete, then it's very easy for the banker to receive this one diamond of 10,000, then immediately lend me 1,000, keep the diamond until I pay 1,000 and the diamond is returned. That's a safer mode of security. So we want to.
The facilities also train youth in gemology, equipping them with skills to identify, grade, and design gemstones. Experts say this could reshape Uganda's gemstone industry. Zambian gemologist James Mazimba says the decision to add value locally is a turning point.
Is basic gemology, like I said, where you're going to
train the youths, the trainers, to be able to identify stones. What is the name of the stone, and what good process can that stone be?
Eco Concrete will showcase its Gemstones at the Minerals Conference on September 24th at Kampala Serena Hotel. Featured stones include quartz, ruby, emerald, aquamarine, and amethyst. From Kisoro's soil to Kampala's workshops, Uganda is now polishing its own future.
Now, African countries need to remove travel restrictions as a pathway to promote integration, trade, and economic development. This was emphasized by Grace Kaboyo, Presidential Advisor on Special Duties and General Secretary of the Pan-African Women's Organization.
Advisor on Special Duties and General Secretary of the Pan-African Women's Organization, Grace Kaboyo, has urged African countries to remove travel restrictions.
We believe that every African should be free to move to wherever he wants and whatever he is carrying, as long as it is not against the law or the security of the people.
Kaboyo made the remarks while addressing over 170 SMEs during the recently concluded hybrid SME Agribusiness Export Readiness Accelerator training organized by the Africa Leadership Foundation in partnership with Afri-Exim Bank. As part of the African Union's Agenda 2063, a visa-free policy is being promoted across the continent to enhance regional integration, trade, and economic development. Countries like Ghana, Benin, Seychelles, Rwanda, and the Gambia have made progress in easing travel restrictions. Kenya has also relaxed its visa policy, allowing stays of up to 2 months for nearly all African nationals. Kaboyo further encouraged participants to leverage the visa-free policies in the few countries that have embraced them to expand their business networks.
And really getting a visa on arrival now is not as bad as applying on IT or online, which might take forever, which might jam. So I think one step is better than none, really. And Uganda is one of those countries. A lot of our people are getting in on visa on arrival.
And I would like to also advocate and speak to our leaders in the continent, our presidents, our prime ministers, ministers, all leaders and politicians, to take that issue of having one common African passport serious.
Feedback from participants suggests Kaboyo's message was well received.
For me, in my mind, I thought the potential customers for my products were Europe, America, but coming here, I've discovered I can even go across Africa and sell my products.
We are supporting over 3,000 youth in Kiliandongo district, and we are looking for export market, and I've got market within my fellow participants from the different countries that have been attending this workshop.
Participants also made appeals during the training.
African Leadership Foundation and Afri-Exim Bank to engage our leadership in the continent, to see that we also have standards that are fit for our continent in Africa.
Yes, we need more capacities in terms of machineries, in terms of capacity building, in terms of markets, because the challenge here is most of our African products are being rejected and outside world. So how do we really come together as a continent to correct that?
According to the Africa Visa Openness Index, only 28% of African countries currently offer visa-free travel within the continent, while 47% still require visas prior to travel. Dorcas Kimono, UBC News.
Quickly into sports, Netball Uganda summoned its squad to play in the Celtic Cup to be hosted in Scotland November. More from John Barnes Centre.
Netball Uganda Executive Committee has hosted the Chic Rains to a luncheon at Luwombo Restaurant in Lugogo.
This luncheon comes ahead of upcoming engagements including November's Celtic Cup in Scotland and the Africa Cup in Malawi this December.
The coaches have already come up with the squad for the She Cranes, and today we invited them for lunch, and in this meeting we have discussed a lot. We have tried to engage the girls to tell us what they feel we should do as a federation, because it is a sharing. And we also wanted to know if they are ready for the duty, because you might invite a girl when she already has issues. But today they have confirmed they are all available, and what we are going to do now, we are going to subject them to medical tests to ensure that they are all good for the team. And we plan to have non-residential training beginning next week, but it is dependent on the reply from the venue, because we have already applied from National Council of Sports to give us Gogo Indoor Stadium. We have also applied at Nachirebe. We feel once we have applied, then we shall be able to begin the non-residential training.
The summoned players include Shadia Nasanga, Farida Kadondi, Christine Nakito, Maseba Tamuliza, Shafi Nalwanja, Gloria Aya, and Margaret Bagala. Others are Brenda Nakazibwe, Shakira Nasaka, Cecilia Mugena, Josephine Bakita, Winfred Alice Isoto, Firidausi Namulema, Linda Muzigo, Stella Namfuka, and Mirusera Akelo. The team is complete by Achola Lilian, Asina Kabendera, and Rachel Nanyonga.
That's all we had time for. Thank you once again for sticking with us right from 8 o'clock. My name is Patricia Lukoma Mpango. A very good night to you. But UBC programming continues. Bye-bye.
UBC, inspiring Uganda. Agriculture is Uganda's economic backbone, employing about 70% of the working population and contributing 20% of the GDP. As the world becomes a digital global village, ICT has proven to increase productivity in the agricultural value chain. UKUSAF, through its Strategic Plan 3, recognizes the importance of access and usage of ICT-based tools, information and knowledge for farmers by providing them the needed skills to live, learn, work and participate in a digital society.
We came up with a project which we took to UKSAF, and we're happy that UKSAF supported it. That project is called ICT for Farmers.